Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, all the above to you whenever you are watching this. Our AEW official prediction show for All in London, live from Wembley Stadium tomorrow. Nice little afternoon pay per view for our viewing pleasure, a little morning pay per view pleasure for Greg over there in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll get a little predicting for this, and then next week we will be predicting Bash in Berlin, another early afternoon show, and then we'll kind of get back to maybe some regular talk as we predict All Out Chicago. So, Greg, how in the world are you doing this week?
Good, busy, but all the things. But it's good time to be alive, as Cody likes to, or CM Punk likes to say now. So,
Mhm.
uh, doing his angle on the what do you want to talk about? I'm taking it. So, but it's a good weekend. It's third week of preseason and final, thankfully.
Mhm.
Roster cut spot to happen and big Wembley show. So, I'm here for all of it. Let's go.
Yeah, next year we will be all in Texas. It looks like from people sharing pictures, Greg, it looks like Forbidden Door could be in London next year. So I don't know if they'll move the time frame of that because right now it's showing all in Texas as July 12th. So, and Forbidden Door has always been in June. So, don't know if maybe they're going to move Forbidden Door to August, maybe get that out. But yeah, it should be an interesting time time frame next year for AW shows. But tomorrow afternoon, we'll kind of start with our 0 hour pre-show match. Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Will Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. What a freaking match, Greg. And I'll just say it. Stokely Hathaway is going to pin Willow. I'm calling it now.
Wow.
I don't know
Okay.
why, how, when, where, whatever. If he's on top of Chris Statlander as she pins her, but I am predicting that yes, they will somehow give Stokely Hathaway the pin, Greg. Because if he pins Ishii, oh god, that what the internet would do there. But I do think there's something. There's obviously something going on that yes, he will pick up the win somehow. So, which direction would you like to go with this one, Greg?
Well, it looks too easy because, Stokely's no wrestler. He's a talker, he's a manager. And I don't recall Stokely ever being a wrestler at any point in his life. I may be wrong,
Yeah, I
but
think this is his
he-
first time ever. So,
exactly. So he is the obvious weak link in this match. So Willow and Ishii on the other side, where's the path to victory? So
yeah,
it does look like a trap, but I still can't make myself call it for Stokely and Chris. So
mhm,
something is afoot. Maybe there's going to be a new member of their team
mhm.
come out of nowhere or something. But I'm the sucker, so I'm going to go ahead and call it for the favorites. So we'll say Willow and Tamiro.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, it won't surprise me. I mean, because it's so Statlander is the is she this no Willow's the CMLL champion.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I kind of feel like that's why, and then that way you give Chris Statlander a chance at that title. So, what about this one? The AEW American, or as it was known as the International Championship. I called all along, Greg, this might main event, but now with all the hype behind making it Brian Danielson's probably last match, this probably will not close the night, but still think it's going to be a really awesome match to see. Uh, I think the roof's going to get blown off when Will Ospreay enters the arena. Then you're just going to have the chorus of booze and wanker and twat, whatever other English uh, slang I can think of. But I'll let you go first, Greg, because I'm very torn on which way this could go.
Yeah, I agree with you. First, this is the perfect bookend for this card.
Yeah.
Starting it off with Will Ospreay and finishing it off with the championship match. So it's the perfect way to get the show started hot and have to end hot. Um, so I loved what they did right there because you could easily do it as like a co-main event, but we see what happens when you put two matches that big back to back to end the show. You lose the crowd for probably the last match. So they're doing the right thing by putting this match right here, starting off the show with it, and getting everybody all lathered up when that Will
Yeah.
Ospreay comes out. So I'm hyped for it, and I am calling it for the hometown boy Will Ospreay. And everybody's made a big deal about the Tiger Driver 91
You
and
think
how
he
much
hits
he's
it?
if he refuses to do it. Um, and I think he's going to do it. And that's going to be the move he uses to pin MJF. He's fought it long enough, and he even had Brian Danielson come up to him on the last show and
Mhm.
tell him, do it, do the damn thing.
Mhm.
And so I think that may be the final straw that pushes him over the edge as far as executing the move and going back of what he said that he would never do it again.
Mhm.
So, you know, we're gonna have that moment at the match, and that conflict's gonna arise, and then he's just gonna blow it off, and he's gonna pound MJF into the mat with it. So,
Yeah.
um, it's gonna happen. New champ. The crowd starts off the biggest pop of the night,
Mhm.
and we're off and running.
You know what? I think I'll go the opposite. I why not? Let's just let MJF hit it and win the match, and really just him soaking the booze, have that United States of MJF flag drop down, play the national anthem or Old Glory song. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with MJF, keeping the championship. Um, but I love your idea, and once again, it wouldn't surprise me if they go that direction because what better way for Will Ospreay to get the title back, get his mojo back, and hit that Tiger Driver. MJF can play it, sell the hell out of it. So
Yep.
maybe just for S's and G's, as they say, I'll just go the opposite. Just because then you can also look at it, man, MJF winning that way, Greg, is just what a knife in the back of of
Yeah.
all English wrestlers and all British wrestling. So yeah, so I'll call MJF on that one. Um, this one
He's,
is the. Sorry, go ahead.
honestly, he's really gone over the top with the whole American champion business. So
And
as
I would
as
hate to see it in so like because it's only been what a month or so it's like, yeah, do we just end it that quickly? So
I don't
that's what
know.
I'm like. Go
It
ahead.
reminds me of the FTW belt. It's a belt
Yeah,
floating around that nobody recognizes that people still are content with them carrying around.
yeah,
Um, and it's being defended, even though it's not an official championship.
that's
Who's to
true.
say that after he loses this match, he still doesn't walk around with it going, I'm the American champion?
Yeah,
You know,
since I
you
won
have no
on, maybe you could say I won on. I didn't win on American soil. If you want to
right.
play that route.
There you go. You could do that, but now you got the international championship back
Yeah,
in circulation.
yeah,
And isn't it odd that they have an international champion and a continental champion? So
yeah. Of course.
I just think that's the weirdest thing, but okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting angle with MJF taking on the whole American part, even though he's the most vilified guy in the company right now.
No, I mean, but sometimes that's the way it goes. That's the way
Yeah,
it goes. So,
in
uh,
international waters, it probably
mhm,
is. You know,
yeah,
would make sense.
yeah. So this Casino Gauntlet, just some names we have. We have Kyle O'Reilly. We have Roger Strong. We have OC, Orange Cassidy. We have Hangman Adam Page. We have Evil Uno. And that's just some of the names. Uh, Greg, I'm going to do it. It's going to be Jeff Jarrett somehow. Because I feel like they're just
Jeff
giving him
Jarrett.
some. I think he's going to like take out, because it's all about him and Hangman. So I feel like he might be some entrant at the end and give him a future title shot, move on. Especially if you have Brian Danielson win at the end. So we've already kind of had that built in. Maybe a Grand Slam and Jeff Jarrett can ride off into the sunset, hopefully, because he's been getting a little bit of a push, Greg. I mean, for him. So I will call Jeff freaking Jarrett to win uh, a good big match at 2024, and I just threw up in my mouth because of it.
Oh man, yeah, because I think
Hangman's
Jeff
too
Jarrett
obvious, so
uh, I think Jeff Jarrett is just there. I mean, he's been painted into a storyline for once, his one time this year.
yeah,
So I don't think it's any big deal. I mean, he's been put into the highest profile storyline.
yeah,
So, credit for that. And he's done a good job with um, being that guy to um, be the kind of middleman in the main event picture.
yeah.
So I get he's been a fitting guy for the role. But I think this is about Hangman and his journey.
Mhm.
Um, and I love what Hangman's been doing since he came back. He's still pissed off about Swerve. He's still on a mission, and he's obviously turned from babyface to uh, the biggest heel he can be, and everything he does in the ring shows it. Um, he's taking no crap from anybody. He's being what he should have been as a babyface anyway.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but he is just vengeance on another level, and I'm loving it. You know how much I love a good heel, and Hangman has been showing it every moment that he's on the screen.
Mhm.
Um, his matches are reflecting that. He just doesn't care anymore. And when he gets his next match against Swerve, we're going to see a different type of match, even though those first two have been, the epitome of violence. So
Yeah.
we're going to get another one of those on another level. So I can't wait for that. But this is about Hangman and him getting what he figured he's owed.
Mhm.
So Jeff Jarrett may be that final stepping stone to getting to it.
Yeah.
And I have a theory about that. I'll tell you about later. But yeah, this is about Heyman, and I think Heyman is going to be the one to win this match. I'm putting my hat on it. But I am looking forward to the appearance of Ricochet in this
Yeah.
match.
I was gonna
'Cause-
say, do we see? I mean, I guess this would be the most sense if he's ready to go and ready to run. I mean, if he's already signed the deal, get him on that plane and get him in the match, right?
Yep, I've seen the rumors that he was on a plane to England,
Hmm.
and I think it's a done deal. He's going to be in that match. So is he still going to be Ricochet? Is he going to change his name? How's he going to, what's he going to choose to come out? But I'm super stoked to see him in the AEW and what type of love he gets from the fans. So
Yeah.
I'm I'll be watching that match just to see him pop up.
And I guess if you do really want to stoke the fire, you could have Osprey win, and then Ricochet appears there, since people already want to see that match happen again. I think they fought a few times on the indie scene, so I do think Ricochet shows up in some capacity tomorrow at some point. So, what
Was it
about
those two
Tony?
that had
Or go ahead.
what they called the fastest match in wrestling
They
history?
just were flippy floppity all over the place.
Right. I
Yeah,
thought it was those two, but it may have
yeah.
been Ricochet or somebody else. But
It could have, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because they both go at 100 miles per hour when they get going. So, um, I think they've wrestled a few times on the indie scene at PWG and maybe New Japan. So,
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to kind of see. I think it's going to be most interesting to see what Ricochet is, who he is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. I There was glimpses at times of what we could see him be, because somebody did show. They're like, yeah, he's got all the strengths, but then they put a microphone like in the picture, like this is his weakness. So
Right.
there's been times that he just sounded so bad on the mic, um, and Osprey would probably just tear him apart in that respect. So you got to wonder, how that would work and what kind of character he creates. So,
Yeah, much as I hate to say it, they're right because
well,
I
yeah,
love me some Ricochet, but he can't. It's not that he gets stage fright, but you can tell
I
he's
just
not comfortable with the mic in
yeah.
his hand. So
Mhm.
I hope he can get over that.
Well, I mean, of course, he wrestled as what Prince Puma for a year or for Lucha Underground, so it's not like he probably ever needed to use mic skills.
Yeah,
Or
he
did he
never had
ever?
to say anything.
I was gonna say, did he ever talk in that regard? So, and then there's a few times that he did talk, and it's like, ooh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, what about Tony Storm versus Glamour Mariah May? Is this Mariah May's title win, Greg?
Yes, it is. I
Okay.
am I am in on Mariah May. I love the change. I love, just like, hey man, that vicious side coming out.
Yeah.
And every time she's out there, she's showing it. It's coming through in her matches, it's coming through in her words, and you can tell in the facials,
Hmm.
she is all of it. And
Yeah.
I am super stoked for it. I think this is where Tony Storm is defeated. And this is back in her, well, she's from Australia, but she's in international water.
Hmm.
Uh, and this is Mariah May's home soil.
Yeah.
So she's going to get cheered more than we expect
Yeah.
in this match, too. And this is a great way to pass the torch. I don't know if how locked in Tony Storm is contract wise, but this could be a way to, pass that torch if she's, up for
Mm.
uh, a new contract or something like that. She's been around
Hmm.
for a minute, but and maybe a character change is about to happen. I hope not,
Yeah.
because I love what Timeless has been doing, but I'm
But it also
feeling
had a
Mariah all the way.
yeah, and I feel like Tony Storm it has a shelf life, obviously, and that time Darby is coming. I think she wins though, Greg. I feel like Mariah May's just gotten so much of the upper hand. It just feels like they're giving
Yeah,
her that opportunity to showcase what she can do, and I'm not sure if they're ready to put the title on her yet. Um, but if they do, we'll see where it goes. And then, like I said, then I think you do have to recreate Tony Storm. We can't keep doing the timeless stuff, or maybe you make her into a haggard, like I don't know, like just down on her luck type character. Still as that, so I'm going to call Tony Storm retain. Once again, probably questioning that aspect of it. So, what
yeah.
about the coffin match? Jack Perry, the AEW TNT champion, versus Darby Allin. I always forget, is Darby Allin undefeated in coffin matches?
I want
I
to
know he's
say
had
yes.
I think he's had a few. So um, I think Jack Perry gets the win though. Then that kind of it just because it still feels like we haven't seen enough of Jack Perry as champion, have we?
No, no. We just saw him in a match that he won the title, and I don't think he's even defended the title
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
So I think this is his first defense. Um, I'm like you. I want to call it for Darby. Uh, I think he is undefeated in coffee matches.
Hmm.
Um, but we're still at that point where the elite hasn't been rallied against enough to have that
Yeah.
surge of
Give Darby the win yet.
people knocking them off and taking their power away.
Yeah. Hmm.
They're still running roughshod and
Yeah.
calling their own shots and everything.
Hmm.
And that angle where we're gonna have the locker room rally against the elite
Hmm.
is going to happen. We're just not there yet, and it's barely getting started. So um, I'm looking at it and trying to see, does Darby have enough allies to offset the interference? Is obviously going to happen. Um, he's got FTR on his side, and
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of who else.
Well, I guess you do wonder if there
Maybe,
will be interference because the elite got their own match. Is I can't remember if Okada's not in the match, is he? So I guess you could have
uh,
Okada be
yeah,
the interference because he has no match. Um, yeah,
yeah.
but
So, but he's going to be up to something. So,
yeah, yeah,
um, I'm heel heavy this so far this show.
Yeah.
So I want to call it for Darby, but I think Jack Perry's going to do something. He's going to want some revenge for the way that Blood and Guts ended too. So Darby changing him to that fence and get ready to pour gasoline on and get ready to set him on fire. So as much as I hate to say it, Jack Perry.
And somebody shared a video. He actually redid that title himself because the blood splatter title they have now for him. So that was pretty cool to see him kind of recreate that himself, which was pretty cool. So,
Let's take a look at that.
yeah, Mercedes Moné, the AWTBH champion, versus Britt Baker. I think this is Mercedes with Camille's help because I think we're going to get Camille and Britt before another shot at Mercedes, and then maybe Britt gets over it. Maybe Grand Slam because I think we got to get that back big again, and so maybe Britt beating Mercedes there is a bigger opportunity for her to win it. So I'm going to call Mercedes here, Greg, with the help of Camille.
Yep, and this is the one time I don't like calling for the heel in this one because I want to see Britt Baker get it in her match back, but she's not going anywhere for a while, and I was tempted to look through the next list of shows, see if Pittsburgh is on the map anywhere for the next match. But I'm feeling with you is that Britt's going to be on the edge of victory, and Camille's going to get in the way and do something, either cause her to get disqualified or something behind the ref's back and knock her out. So yeah, this is all about Camille getting interfering in the match, but that's going to keep the ball rolling and add some more matches to what should be a great match. I'm looking forward to this match, and having the OG Britt Baker against Mercedes at doing her heel best. I'm excited to see it. This is going to be one of my favorite matches of the night. So, but Mercedes with the interference for sure.
So we'll have AEW Grand Slam September 25th. So that gives just a month that you can run Camille and Britt and then possibly get right back to Mercedes and Britt. So yeah, I think that would be a good opportunity for her to get her title and see where she can run with it. So
yeah, Britt's going to have to take out Mercedes or take out Camille before getting back to Mercedes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think, like I said, I think that's just a dynamite match. How about this one? The 4-way ladder match for the AW World Trios Championship. Sorry, we have the Patriarchy. So you got Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne. They are the current champions. Bang Bang Gang Club, House of Black, and Pack with Combat Club. Yeah. Good. So sad for Pack not to get his official title shot, right, Greg?
Yeah, that went over great. Yeah.
And they really haven't revisited it, so I guess they're just gonna move on, or just bring it back. Maybe Grand Slam will be where he wants the title shot. But which direction would you like to go with this one, Greg? Because yeah,
this is about the Acclaim right now. They're putting them in the center of the mix as far as being
this is the trios match.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, trios match. So we have the Patriarchy, we have the Bang Bang Club, House of Black, and then Pack with Blackpool Combat Club because they need to get back from the show. Sorry, just making sure.
Okay, that's not going to work. Okay, so thinking about Pack and the Blackpool Combat Club, it's like, I don't see it. No. But when it comes to trios, I'm all about my guys, the House of Black.
Okay,
and looking at this mix of four, I think the Patriarchy is, due to their ways, probably the favorites. But I got to go with my guys, the House of Black. Anytime it's trios, they're the best 3-man group in the game. So I'm sticking with them. I'm going with my guys, HOB.
Yeah, and I feel like the House of Black contracts have been up forever now. ever since they signed, Greg, because I feel like every week you see, yeah, Buddy Matthews and Malachi Black's contract expiring soon. I feel like that's been going on for years now. So we'll actually see when that actually happens. I guess I'm just going to call the champions to retain. Maybe Shayna or whatever the Mother Wayne. Maybe
Uh-huh.
she kind of involves herself. Um, there's really nobody. There's really no other woman to combat her, so you might as well have her help out. But um,
Yeah.
I guess it
Well,
would be a good.
is Julia still around somewhere? We haven't
Well, we
seen
haven't
her in.
seen her. We have not seen her. You're right. Well, or is she injured? No. Sky Blue's injured. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so we
we
can
could
see
see.
Julia offset her.
Yeah, we could see her
Blow
show
the
up.
mist in her face.
Yep. That would be quite the turn to see if she really wants to see where she goes with that. But I
Hmm.
will say the patriarchy for the win. But now, Greg, you could talk about the acclaimed. You giving them the titles?
Um,
I
uh,
almost feel like by default they are going to win it because I think the Young Bucks and FTR kind of cancel each other out. So somehow the acclaimed sneak in there and get the win.
that's what it feels like. It really is.
Yeah,
And I'm liking that it looks like the acclaimed are switching heel too.
yeah.
Just off of their last matches and the promos they've been cutting, they sound like they're going back to the original form of the
Yeah.
uh, the acclaim, where they were, more sinister and more uh, dark. You can tell
Mhm.
their gears going dark,
Yeah.
and their um, Max is coming out and he's not rapping,
Hmm.
um, and it just feels like they're switching their course too.
Hmm.
Maybe to offset the elite, but
Yeah.
it still feels like the elite's going to win.
Yeah. And that,
Um, that's my gut. Is the elite's going to find some way to squirrel their way to a win? But I think that if it happened where you're saying that the FTR and the Bucks offset each other, then the acclaim can vulture a win
mhm.
and steal the titles, and that could be fun too if they go all the way heel and they steal the championships and they have that to crow about when we get back to the states. That could be fun too.
Mhm.
But again, that's in that revolution against the elite has not happened yet, so I don't
That
see
is,
them
yeah,
losing the titles yet.
yeah. And I guess that's why I would probably keep them face for now, even as champions if they were going to win, because like you said, we still got the Young Bucks, and I mean, I guess you could call for Young Bucks, and maybe we get the Young Bucks and FTR in Chicago, and maybe do career, like career versus titles or something, because we keep hearing about FTR's contract as well, Greg. I mean, they're kind of saying they're done whenever they're done. So, uh,
Hmm.
in what better way in Chicago than those two tearing down the house, in a barn burner. So I will call the acclaim, Greg, but I can see your idea of maybe the Young Bucks, or I can see your idea of the Young Bucks winning or retaining the title, and then we're off and running for FTR and Young Bucks. Some way to make it the final match,
Yeah,
because yeah, I don't think we need any more after that. So um, ladder wars, something sort of
yeah,
Ring of
they're doing a
Honor.
good job of spacing those matches out.
Yeah,
The
that's true.
the set with the FTR and the Young Bucks. They're
Yeah,
taking probably like a year between each match.
that's true.
It seems like.
Yeah, but what a build up that could be, at All Out in Chicago. So,
Yeah.
and finally, Swerve Strickland, current AW World Champion, versus Brian Danielson. I feel like he's a man of his word, Greg. So if Brian Danielson last match is tomorrow, it's his last match. He's not pulling a Shawn Michaels, is he?
No, I believe him when he says this is my last match. This will be the last match. Period. End the story. No part time. No one offs. No nothing. I think this is it. He is gone, gone, gone. So we may
That
see
means
an
he's going to
interview
win.
or something like that. He starts doing the one man show route,
Yeah. Mhm.
but
Or he just
it's
goes to farm farm his plantation up in Seattle or something, or down
Right.
in Arizona. I think they live in Arizona, so um,
Yeah.
so that means he's going to win tomorrow.
I have been so conflicted about this match because I'm trying to make it make sense.
Yeah,
We have the you know career on the line, and not just now going to be a part timer and just show up here and
legit
there.
career.
That he's come out and actually said, "I will never ever wrestle again,"
Yeah,
and so that takes all that off the table. And I love it that if he's allowed to cherry pick his own final match, that he would choose this one because it's going to be a banger. Um, and then there's the whole business, and this is the part that gets me, is that they were talking about the fact that he's not even under contract anymore.
yeah.
So if he wins the match, then what? Is
Mhm.
he going to just come out and
Give it
say
up.
that's it, drop,
Yeah.
I'm done, and
Mhm.
vacate the title, or is he going to? Because he said he never signed another contract,
Mhm.
and so that's the confusing part for me. I mean, it'd be better off if they've left that behind the scenes and not mentioned that part, because then it'd be easier to buy in. But
The
if he
fact that that's so
wins,
prominent feels a little like a swerve. Like,
right,
yeah,
right. I mean,
I do legit believe his contract ended, but do I believe that he has no contract?
yeah, I mean,
Eh.
what's to say he doesn't have an extension to his
Yeah, or a
contract?
short.
He was
I'm sure they could work out a 6 month or short term, 3 month. I just,
right.
I don't
Um,
know. But then again, it is Brian Danielson. I mean, I feel like he's not going to be. I don't think he would get himself into something that he wouldn't. His words wouldn't hold up. If that makes sense.
right. Um, so that whole timeline is the only thing that messes with me as far as this match goes, because
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see him win the match and go, okay, I did what I wanted to do, and now I'm out.
I mean,
That was
Sting
kind
did
of,
it.
you know,
Technically, Sting retired as champion.
true,
Yeah.
true. Um, and then on Swerve's side, he gets the feather in the cap of being the man who could say, I retired Dr. Brian Danielson
Yeah.
for the rest of his life.
Hmm.
Um, and just, he is the perfect foil opposite him, as that merciless guy who will do whatever it takes and not to have a second thought about it, to put you down. And so, the promos have been fired. Them getting back and forth at each other. Swerve invoking the family, and it's got all the smoke. All the smoke. We're all need to call the fire department because smoke everywhere.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm excited for it. This could be the best match of the night. At the end of the day, though, I got to go with my boy Brian.
Yeah.
I think that whatever the other ancillary things behind it, with the contract and the timing and all that, is going to be water under the bridge, and it's going to get explained out, after the fact. Scalper can always say that, he got an extension or something like that, and he didn't have to sign anything. Tony Khan just
Yeah.
extended his contract or whatever, but that can be explained away easy
Later
enough,
on.
I
Yeah.
think. And my other reason for calling it for Brian Danielson
Uh huh.
is that, to pay off the tease I gave earlier, Hangman,
Interferes.
our guy Hangman, gets involved,
Hmm.
and his mission to take everything that Hangman, that Swerve stole from him,
Yeah.
because apparently he's lost his family, he's lost everything, and his life has been in the dark since that incident with Swerve invading his home. And now his chance to take what Swerve holds uh,
Most dear. Yeah.
closest to him
Hmm.
and take that away. And by getting involved and costing him the match, now we're on even terms.
Hmm.
You took away from me what I hold closest, and now I've done the same to you.
Yeah.
And we're going to see Swerve even get more evil because now he's going to be even more pissed off after um, after this happens because he won both of the matches against Hangman,
Yep.
but now
But this
he
would be
lost the
deal.
most important match because of Hangman. So, we're going to have a Hell in a Cell qualifying type of match
Mhm.
for their next match. But that's what I think. Hangman is going to come down. He's going to involve himself somehow, hit Swerve with a chain, something, you know, obvious and blatant, and being the swing move that gets Bryan Danielson the win. And so that's the other reason I think that Bryan's going to walk away with the title.
And I mean, I'm calling it for Brian because I'm looking ahead to Wrestle Dream, which is in Washington, his home state, and that's where he can call it a career. I mean, I'm sure, like you said, I think he has a little bit of hand in how he wants to write his story off, Greg. So why
Yeah,
not let him write it off? It's in Tacoma, but it's still his home state. So
sure.
maybe lose the title there. And I kind of feel like maybe Brian might go a little bit of heel, because he's been showing some heelish tactics, going after Jeff Jarrett
Yeah,
and talk about how much he's going to kick his head in and all this. So, and you got Swerve all the way on the face side, Greg. So I think you need to define those lines a little bit. And Brian can play up the heel by saying, "Hey, you all thought I was going to be out, and I'm still here." Maybe you can get back to the fickle fans line, like that he loves to do. So,
yeah.
and I, like you said, I think they can explain it enough over the next week or so. Like you leave it hanging, obviously tomorrow.
Hmm.
You just like you leave it open. They're like, oh, well, now what's going to happen because Brian does not have a contract, and then Wednesday or maybe let it play out a week or so and figure out where you want to go with it. But I think it's going to be Brian Danielson picking up the win and probably coming out to final countdown. So you could really play it up like, oh my God, this is the last time we'll
Hmm.
hear this, the last time we'll do this. So, but I'm looking ahead. So it's in October. That's you. I think you could sign a short term contract and let him play out like that. I mean, or do a appearance. Maybe instead of a contract, he just does appearance. I want this many more appearances before I'm done. So,
Hmm.
and I think for his kids' sake, like, I think it's that whole idea. He has his birdie and buddy see him be champion in AEW, because he's all about the family. And, what better way to kind of ride off into the sunset than see that. So
Yeah.
I am going to call for Brian Danielson to win. And, in this main event, I would assume, just because of all the hype between the career and title match. So,
Yeah.
and we will see Ricochet's there. I know some of you are throwing out Becky Lynch, Craig. There is no way in hell Becky Lynch
No.
is showing up. I'm trying to think if there's any other names out there that I can think of. Um, we haven't seen
Oh,
Miro in forever. Do you think maybe Miro shows up in the Casino Gauntlet?
that could be fun. I mean, he's
We
he's a
don't know what
European
he's
guy.
doing or
London's
where
probably
he's.
not far from Bulgaria,
Yeah.
but I can see that happening.
Um,
Uh,
Trying to think of
uh,
who else we could see in there. Um, yeah.
I know how long has Joe been gone? Because I know it's been.
Now Samoa Joe.
I don't think it's
Well,
been
he's
that
still film,
long.
and I don't know how long he's filming.
Exactly. So I'm not ready
Oh, did we
to
forget?
call his
Oh
name.
my God, I think we forgot the Chris Jericho and Hook. Hook wins, right,
Yes.
and gets the
Hook.
title and
Mhm.
retires it. Gives it to
There we
his
go.
dad and moves on. So yeah, um, maybe Samoa Joe makes an appearance in that match.
I can
Kind
see
of
that
help.
coming in,
Or
and
Shibata. I mean, we got the two. I guess you would need two guys because if you have, um, let's see, the big redwood and the apple tree or whatever he is,
yeah,
the bounty
Brian Keith.
hunter, Brian Keith. So, I mean, I guess if you really want to play it, you could have Suzuki come out there, the wrestling grandpa come out there and help. By the way, did you see Dory Funk Jr., 81 or 82 years old, will be wrestling a match this weekend, Greg?
What?
Because it is the anniversary of Terry Funk's death. So he's going to be wrestling a death
Holy
match.
crap, dude.
Sorry, death match. I did forget to include that
A
very
death
big
match. Okay, there you go.
which
You
sorry.
can swing chairs and kendo
An
sticks.
82-year-old wrestler wrestling a death match just does not sound idealistic. So
Yeah, it sounds horrible. We can
yeah,
see we can see brittle bones get broken in this match.
legit. Yeah,
Uh,
be legit. So yeah, but I did see he's going to be wrestling some. I think it's in Japan. He was taking a picture there. So, and we do have to say today is the anniversary, Greg, of Bray Wyatt's passing. So what a day for us to be um, broadcasting today. You know, I got my tatted up leg, my calf that has the let me in. So yeah, just a very, very sad day last year, and what a way to remember it today with just broadcasting live. So, but I
yeah,
do remember Terry Funk passing away close to Bray Wyatt. So,
he
um,
did. Yeah,
I think there's a hard. Yeah, I think there was a couple last year that kind of hit close together. So, but yeah, so just a year of remembrance for that. I'm sure the family will do a little something. Um, yeah. So,
yeah,
well,
absolutely. Rest in peace, Bray. We still miss you. You know, even more now a year later.
yeah.
Just so much genius that went untapped. You know, he was just getting started again, and so
Mhm.
um, you know, every time you look at the Wyatt Six, you kind of hope that they're going to, you know, represent him well, and Bo especially is going to
Yeah.
represent him well. I know he's trying to evolve into the new Bray,
Hmm.
with the look and his new alter ego and all that. And I hope it works. This is the first time I've rooted for Bo Dallas to do anything, so I hope it works and he
We
gets
get
this
him
off.
and
And
Chad Gable on Monday night.
right, and finally get
I'm
our first
guessing.
singles. It's probably in honor of this because
Yeah.
look
That
at the
could be
timing.
true. Yep. Yeah. They
So
debuted where the Wyatt family debuted, and now they have this happening. So,
yeah,
um, could that main event Monday night?
yeah, absolutely it will. I think um, we want to honor it the way that we should, and I think it definitely should be the title match. So um, you know, the story is taking shape, and Gable's the perfect guy to make sure this is a 5-star match. So you know, props to Gable for the work he's been doing, from going from Mr. Thank You to uh, what he's doing right now,
Mhm.
being like the most narcissistic heel leader
Mhm.
in the game. You know, he's doing killer work, and we love to watch him get punched in the face.
Mhm.
And so he's doing his job well, and Bo needs to do his job, make sure that Howdy is as awesome as we want to believe he is. And there's no doubt this should be the main event.
Yeah, yeah. Especially, I think if you have some people already maybe heading out to Germany, maybe to get like Gunther. I felt like he was already there, maybe so doing some press. So him and Kaiser. So maybe not having them on the show. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it'd be a perfect way to do that. So yeah, next week we'll predict Bash in Berlin. We should see, but it'll go at 11. I'll give you a more correct time because I will be heading out to Pittsburgh. Actually, heading out to Pittsburgh myself, Greg, that next Saturday for some Green Day on Sunday. So looking forward
Nice.
to that. Um, saw them back in 2021. That was actually my first post-COVID concert. So um, always hold a dear special place in Green Day in my heart. So
Nice. I haven't
uh
seen Green Day yet. I had tickets to go see them on my birthday one year,
huh.
and I didn't get to go. I forgot why, but that's the one time I had a chance to
Yeah,
see him. I missed it. So
yeah.
I hope to see him coming around at some point because
Well,
I'd
I
love to see
think they
him.
got one of your favorite bands, the Smashing Pumpkins, touring with them. You like the
Oh,
Pumpkins, so
now just mention
uh,
that they are coming here. So
yeah,
I got that on my
and they are playing their the big album that whatever.
melancholy and
Yes,
the
yes,
double album.
yes. At
Oh,
least I
that'll be
think, or maybe
sweet.
some of it, because it's celebrating 30 years,
Nice.
or is it yeah 30? because then Green Day will be playing Dookie in full, and then they're playing American Idiot, which is celebrating 20 years. So Dookie's celebrating 30 years, and then American Idiot will be celebrating 20. So,
And it makes me feel old, man. It's like, holy
I
crap!
know.
Remember that stuff just came out, and I have a copy of the double, the Smashing Pumpkins and of Dookie, and that was like cutting edge back then. That the material on that was, people were up in arms about it, that these songs are, not fit for human consumption. And now it's 20, 30 years later.
Well, this makes me another way to make you feel old. Indianapolis, we're celebrating the Beatles return to the state fair. They came here 60 years ago, Greg. So they're going to do not the Beatles, obviously, but they're doing a tribute band at the Indiana State Fairgrounds in honor of them being there on the actual date. So, and they're making tickets like $5, which is how much it cost to see the Beatles back then.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool, but
that is cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are officially old as dirt, as they say. So.
Hey, OGs now. OGs.
I do not want to see the songs turning 20 or 30 and this year, because man, it starts taking you back. So, but yeah, so your Chargers play tonight or tomorrow?
No, we played the Cowboys at about mid-afternoon, like 1:00.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's probably my time, but so around 4:00, but still middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Last night about 7:30 p.m. A group of Chargers were stuck in the team elevator in Dallas, and they had to be evacuated through the ceiling panel.
Oh God, that's like that is.
So we already had some shenanigans going on in Dallas.
They're trying not to make them show up.
I know.
Shenanigans. No.
That defense is looking good in the preseason. I wouldn't want to show up either, but we're gonna be
imagine there. And just think football players stuck in an elevator, Greg.
Right.
Even 3 or 4 of them stuck. Yeah, that just. I would not. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, that's no bueno. I mean,
there's some bad ways to die, and that's one of those ways. I'm just because it's just slow. If you're stuck, you're stuck. There's no.
Yeah, imagine if it'd been after a workout or something. And
God!
Right?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Well, especially like we said, and they're not even the smallest football player is not small.
No.
So you get 3 or 4 linemen in there, and that air is probably going quick. Well, at least they were able to get them through the. Well, then I guess the idea of trying to get them up, I guess they had to help each other probably, try to pull them up through the roof, right?
Yeah, that's what happened. They pulled out the ceiling panel and pulled them out, but we haven't won a preseason game yet, but I have a feeling we're going to win today.
Hey, my Colts haven't won
be pretty mad about that.
Season opener in 10 years, Greg. That's crazy. They've started 0-1 for the past 10 seasons or so.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then we get the Texans, our first game out. So, it could be 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a way for Anthony Richardson to get his shot back. So, hey, we're going to have you face the Texans. So yeah, we'll have the cuts come Tuesday, and then then I think we still got about a week before games actually officially kick off. So
because I think we have games happen today. All the other games happen today.
I think we have a Thursday Friday game, don't we? I think opening week. I think there's a Friday game.
Yeah, there is.
That must be on Amazon, maybe.
They're both in international cities. I think one's going to be in. Okay. One's in Germany, one's in Mexico, or something like that.
Because the Chiefs and Packers are playing. I do remember that. And then somebody's playing on Friday night. Maybe that's,
Yeah, I think it's the Ravens and somebody.
Is it bad I want to see Aaron Rodgers get hurt again?
Oh, that's evil. Hey, here's my bold prediction is that Devontae Adams will get traded to the Jets by the trade deadline.
Uh-oh.
I am locked in that that's going to happen. That
He's
Devontae
on
hates it.
the Packers, right?
No, Devontae's on the Raiders.
Oh, he's on the Raiders. Sorry. Okay.
And he hates it there because they stink so bad.
Yeah.
I think he's going to demand a trade, and the Jets are going to give whatever they have to give to get him over there.
He was on the Packers, though, right? With Rodgers?
Yeah.
That's okay. Now it's making sense.
So he's going to want to go back there, and I don't know if he has a no trade clause or whatever, but he's going to, be out of the bag. That's what I wanted to go. Yeah. And so I'm going to be drafting him in my fantasy football because I think at some point he's going to go back he's going to be a Jet, and I don't have to worry about having a Raider on my team because as a personal rule, I don't draft Raiders. But I'm a Charger. We hate the Raiders, always have. So it would be a knife in my heart to actually pull the trigger and draft a Raider player, but on that premise, I think that he's going to end up not a Raider by the end of the year. So I can handle it for half a season. So that's my bold prediction for this season.
My bold prediction is Aaron Rodgers goes down with a non-contact football injury.
Again.
Nice. Second play of the game. No. Then he'll want the miracle of science to heal him, right?
Oh, you want the miracle of ayahuasca to heal him. Some wacky tobacco.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of football players getting hammered, have you seen Pat McAfee in Ireland? Oh my God, he is. There's been some videos of him, Greg. He is on one in Ireland with Sheamus. So,
really?
Yeah, he was lost up. Sheamus gave him the 10 beats at some point, and apparently he said he took so many milligrams of edibles at some point, Greg. Pat McAfee's living his best life now that he doesn't. Now that he just has to focus on football, he's like, I guess I can do whatever I want now. So,
right.
He was lost up in some bar in Ireland yesterday. So, just type in Pat McAfee, and I'm sure the videos will be a flow and a plenty like the beer was, Greg.
Oh yeah,
people were sharing some videos of him yesterday. So,
all right, look for Sheamus on game day next week.
I think it's this. Isn't it tomorrow? Isn't it this week?
Oh, I thought the start of the football season is.
I think they're in Ireland today.
Okay,
I think it's Notre Dame and. I thought.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right.
I was thinking that Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Okay, college football season starting earlier every year, but
it does. Yes, it does start earlier.
So I think you're right.
Mind.
Yeah.
No, it's not Ohio State. Sorry, but I thought Notre Dame was playing somebody because that's why Sheamus was going. I thought, but I could be wrong. But anyway, maybe it is next week. So either way, wherever they're in Ireland living it up. If there's a game next week, Greg, God, McAfee might need a couple days then to recover because, if you saw the videos yesterday, shoot. Well, and I guess if there is a game, if there's a game today, if he has their game today, then maybe he better get better. So, but anyways, So, okay. Well, there we go. All right. Well, we'll be back at it next week. Talk of Bash in Berlin. Thank you for watching and enjoy the weekend this weekend.
Peace.